You click to save a dying plant. Good call. Now, before we touch a watering can, we'll run a quick light and moisture check because most problems start with the environment, not the plant. I'll show you how to spot low light legginess, dry versus soggy soil, and brown tips from low humidity. Then we'll prune what cannot recover, shift the plant to kinder light, and give the right sip. Just enough. 3 steps, senior friendly, with early signs of improvement in the next day or two. Some plants take longer, and that's okay. Stay with me for the exact cut and move points you can copy today, starting with a calm 30-second life check. Let's keep it simple and kind to our hands. The 30-second life check tells us if we move forward or gently step back, using only light touch and clear signs. First, the stem. Hold a main stem between your fingers. Bend it gently. If it snaps clean and feels hollow and crumbly, that section is finished. If it flexes or fibers pull like string, there's life somewhere close. Look for any sections that still look firm and have some color, even if faded. We're hunting for signs of flexibility, not forcing anything. Now the soil. Press your finger into the first knuckle. Don't jab, just nestle in. If the mix feels dry, dusty, and warm, your plant is likely thirsty. If it feels cool and clumpy or slick, it's holding more water than it can use. That's the simple fork in the road. Dry needs a measured drink. Soggy needs air and time. Both can look droopy at first glance, which is why this touch test is our anchor. Scan the leaves with your eyes. Are most leaves still mostly green? Even if they're soft and a bit floppy, that's usually stress, not a full collapse. Are they fully yellow or brown from tip to base and dropping with a slight tug? Those leaves are spent. A peace lily may wilt like a drama queen when thirsty and perk up after water. A succulent with shriveled, brittle pads is often past the point of return. We're reading patterns, not one leaf out of place. Here's why these checks matter. When roots sit in water too long, they run short on air. Roots need oxygen, just like a slow fire needs a bit of draft. Starved roots can't feed the leaves, so everything slumps. When a plant stays too dry, cells lose pressure and leaves fold for the same reason. 2 different causes, same tired look on top. Our quick tests tell them apart without guessing. While you're close, do a fast pest look. Turn a leaf over and peek along stems. Do you see sticky residue, webbing, tiny crawling dots, white fluff, or black specks that rub off like soot that hints at pests or fungus? If you spot any of that, we'll deal with it before we water or trim. It's 1 minute now that saves weeks later. Work smoothly from top to bottom. Bend the stem, press the soil, scan the leaves. If any step shows flexibility, moisture balance, or mostly green foliage, we keep going. If every sign is brittle, bone dry, or waterlogged with rotting smells, and the leaves are all brown or mushy, you've just saved hours of effort and a sore back. That clarity is a gift that keeps giving because it turns worry into action. If you like a tiny extra check, lift the pot an inch. Light and floaty usually means dry. Heavy and cold means wet. Use it as a tiebreaker if your finger test feels uncertain. No tools, no bending low, just you and your senses. Function meets beauty in the most delightful way when we trust simple signals. With that quick read in hand, we know where the living energy still flows and what's only holding it back. Next, we'll free that energy with careful zero-guilt cuts. Let's put that plan into action, my dear garden-loving friends. Letting go to grow. The zero-guilt trim is where we clear what's finished so the living parts can breathe, feed, and stand again. Here's the secret. Trimming the right bits brings a weak plant back faster than any splash of water. We're not reshaping. We're freeing energy. We cut only what can't return, so the living parts get the food and light they need to stand up again. I know the worry. What if we cut the wrong leaf? That fear keeps us staring while the plant keeps struggling. Today we trade fear for a simple rule we can trust. If it can't carry water or feed itself, it goes. You'll feel lighter the moment you start, and so will your plant. Start with the easy targets. Anything fully brown is done. Not a patch or a tip. Fully brown from tip to base. Same with leaves that are completely yellow and limp. Those won't recover. Take them cleanly with clean, sharp secateurs. Then check stems. If a stem feels mushy, smells sour, or collapses between your fingers, it's past saving. Clip it back to firm tissue. Now sweep for troublemakers. Mold on the surface, powdery film on leaves, shriveling that crinkles like paper. Those pieces act like little leaks in a hose. They don't carry water well, and they invite more problems. Remove them. Keep anything that's still firm, still predominantly green in the blade or veins, or has a clean, springy feel. Leave those mostly green leaves in place until the plant grows a fresh flush. They still help with feeding and won't hold you back. Why do we do this? Dead tissue drains the plant like a phone stuck on a ghost app. It sits there, eats battery, and gives you nothing. It also draws pests and fungus that love weak spots. When we clear it, new buds see the light, air moves, and the plant stops wasting fuel on lost causes. That's how recovery speeds up without heavy lifting. Let's make it easy on our bodies. Sit at a table. Bring the pot up to waist height, not the other way around. Use lightweight secateurs with soft grips so your hands don't tense. Keep your wrists straight. Neutral is kinder on the joints and gives a cleaner cut. We want comfort and control. Function meets beauty in the most delightful way when care feels this smooth. One safe cut will carry you far. On soft stems, cut just above a node, the small bump where leaves or new shoots form. That's the spot most ready to throw new growth. Don't rip or tear. If a leaf resists, use the secateurs, not your hands. Have a small paper bag or bucket at your elbow. Drop each piece in as you go. This keeps the soil clean and keeps any disease from spreading to nearby plants. Here's a calm truth we can use, backed by good practice. Fully dead material does not recover and blocks new growth, so we act with confidence. Clip the fully brown, clip the mushy, clip the moldy. Leave what shows firm tissue and mostly green. It's clear, it's quick, it's zero guilt on a shoestring budget. With the clutter gone, the next gentle boost is all about the light your plant can actually use and how a small shift can change its day. Kinder light. The 4-foot window shift is our next gentle move, my dear garden-loving friends. We're aiming for bright, indirect light that steadies the plant without scorching tender leaves. We won't haul heavy pots across the house. We'll slide them to kinder light. That means no harsh beams, no deep shade. Think soft daylight that fills a room without hitting the leaves like a spotlight. It's the difference between a cozy lamp and a flashlight to the eyes. Here's our quick guide to find it. Hold your hand over the plant at midday. Look at the shadow on the leaves. If the outline is soft and fuzzy, that's the sweet spot. Sharp and dark, too strong. No shadow at all, too dim. This tiny test works in any room and takes seconds. And here's what we watch for over days. Weak, spindly growth and pale leaves signal not enough light. Brown, scorched patches, and a washed-out look tell us the sun is too strong. Set your plant 3 to 6 feet back from a sunny window. East-facing light tends to be gentle. A bright north window is kind, too. If a window throws hot rays for a few hours, hang a sheer curtain. It turns glare into a calm glow and smooths out the midday spike. In winter, when sunlight is weaker, nudge plants closer to south or west-facing windows so they still get the brightness they need without stress. Now read the leaves. Long gaps between leaves and pale blades mean low light. That's legginess. The plant stretches like a person reaching for a top shelf all day long. Crispy edges, sun-bleached patches, or hot spots mean too much direct sun. We only need to nudge it into that middle ground where leaves can breathe and sip light without flinching. Keep the background steady. Drafts near doors can chill leaves. Pressed against the glass can cook them. Aim for a spot with stable air, away from vents. Wipe dust off leaves with a soft, damp cloth so light actually reaches the surface. Clean leaves work better, just like clear windows brighten a room. Let's add a small humidity lift that won't tire your hands. Low air humidity, especially over winter when the heat is on, dries leaf edges, leaving them shriveled, crispy, and brown at the tips. Group 2 or 3 plants so they share a gentle bubble of moisture, or set your plant on a shallow tray with pebbles and water. Keep the pot base above the water line. As the water evaporates, it softens the air right where the leaves live. No misting marathons, no gadgets. Why this works is simple. Many houseplants grew up under taller leaves in nature. They're built for brightness that's filtered, not blasted. So when we give them that soft, steady light and a touch of moisture in the air, they can heal without scorch. It's like reading near a window with a shear. Easy on the eyes, easy on the nerves. Watch for the early signs that you've landed in the right spot. Petioles angle toward the window. Curl eases, color hold. The soil dries at a calm pace rather than racing to dust or staying soggy. If the hand shadow looks too sharp at noon, add the shear or slide 1 foot farther in. If the shadow vanishes most of the day, step a foot closer. Small tweaks, big comfort. With light and air set, the next choice is simple timing, when to give a sip and when to wait. Now we tune the water to match that steadier light, my dear garden-loving friends. The right sip. Moisture without mayhem keeps roots breathing and leaves calm, using touch and simple signals. Here's the secret. The fix is rarely more water, it's better timing. We decide in seconds with 2 simple checks we already use, your knuckle and the weight of the pot. This saves work and it saves roots. Less guessing, more calm. Press your finger into the soil to the first knuckle. Feel for texture and temperature. Dry, dusty, and warm means the mix has space for a drink. Cool, clumpy, or slick means it's holding water. Now lift the pot an inch. Light and airy says thirsty. Heavy and cold says wet. Those 2 signals together give a clear yes or no. No charts, no gadgets, just steady hands. Overwatering feels caring, but wet roots can't breathe. Underwatering leaves cells flat and limp. Both cause droop, which is why timing beats habit. Think of roots like lungs. They need moisture, but they also need air between breaths. When we match the sip to what we feel, we protect both needs. If the pot reads dry, we water slow. Aim the spout at the base, not the leaves. Pour in a thin stream, pause, and let the soil drink. Continue until a small trickle comes out the drain hole, then stop. Empty the saucer so roots don't sit in a puddle. That little drain tells us the water reached the lower roots without drowning them. It also flushes stale salts that can irritate tips. If the pot reads soggy, we add no water at all. Set a towel nearby. Tip the pot slightly over the sink or the tray and let excess dribble out. If you suspect water has pooled below, gently slide the root ball partway out of the pot and check the base. If there's a pocket of water, tip it away and set the plant back. Then let it rest in bright, indirect light so air can move through the mix. That gentle dry down protects living roots and slows any decay. It's simple first aid, not surgery. Do a quick drainage check while you're there. Make sure the pot has a hole underneath. If it sits in a decorative sleeve, lift it up on a small trivet or a few jar lids so the base stays above any runoff. Roots that sit in a reservoir lose air fast. A tiny lift keeps them safe on a shoestring budget. Use room temperature water when you do water. Warm, not hot. Cold shocks roots and slows uptake. Keep the room itself steady too. Sudden chills from drafts or open windows can blacken leaves, drop whole shoots, and stall recovery. Stable, comfortable room temperatures help the plant settle while it rebuilds. Here's the calm truth behind this. Root rot builds in soil that stays wet and low in oxygen. We interrupt that by letting the mix shed extra water and regain its air pockets. Early controlled drying can stop the slide and give roots a chance to heal. It's quiet care that pays off fast. So how do you know if your plant needs more water? Dry pot gets one slow drink. Heavy, wet pot gets no water. Let it breathe. That's the whole rule. Clear, gentle, repeatable. As we follow this rhythm for a day or two, the plant will answer back in small ways. You'll see quiet signals that tell us whether our plan is taking hold. Let's turn our attention to early wins, my dear garden-loving friends. 48-hour wins, signs. Your plan is working is about small, steady changes that show we're on the right track, often within a few days, not a dramatic overnight turnaround. Here's the secret. By the second or third sunrise, your plant may whisper whether our plan is working. We don't need a magnifier. We use our eyes and our hands. Quiet checks, clear signals, less worry, more peace. Waiting can feel uneasy. A droopy leaf might stand up for a few hours just from water pressure, then flop again. That's a false cheer. We look past the quick bounce and watch for steadier signs. Think of it like bread dough rising. A brief puff means little. A slow, even lift means the yeast is alive and doing its job. Start with posture. Set the pot where you can see it at breakfast. Notice the leaves. Are they a touch firmer than yesterday? Less curl at the edges? Petioles, the little leaf stems, should angle toward the light with a calm, gentle arc. Not stiff, not jerking, just a quiet lean. If they hold that angle through the day, that's a good sign the plant can manage its water again. Now color. Look at the edges that were paling. Are they holding steady instead of sliding deeper into yellow? We want to see the spread slow to a stop. Veins that stay a cleaner green tell us food is moving again. If new brown does not creep day to day, we mark that as progress. It's small, but it counts. Check for new growth nubs. Run your eyes along the nodes, those tiny joints where leaves meet stem. You might see a little point, like a grain of rice just waking up. At the center of rosette plants, the crown can look tighter, more tucked in, as if it's pulling in strength for a push. That's early promise. It's quiet, and it's enough. Feel the soil with that same first knuckle touch we trust. Early on, it should feel evenly damp, not glossy wet. After a day or two, the top should begin to dry, while the lower mix still holds a gentle cool. Lift the pot. Slightly lighter than day one? Good. Same heavy, cold weight? We wait and keep the air moving around it. Breathe with the routine. A slow look in the morning. A quick touch in the afternoon. No marathon care. This light rhythm lowers stress. It's repeatable. It becomes a cue for calm. The way a short walk brings clarity. You'll feel steadier, and the plant will mirror you. If leaves lift a little and hold, if the yellow pauses, if small nubs show at nodes or in the crown, that's your green light. We continue with the same gentle light and the same careful sips. We don't add fertilizer yet. Feeding waits until you see clear, ongoing recovery. New growth that holds its color and posture for a week or more. Then a mild feed can help, but only after stability returns. If you spot the opposite, fresh brown creeping, stems turning mushy, soil still cold and wet, hold water, improve airflow, and double-check the light. Seasonal shifts, especially in winter, slow everything down. That's normal. Problems often start in the darker months and take time to fully resolve. Patience is part of the cure. Lifted leaves, paused yellowing, tiny new points at the nodes, that trio means life is moving in the right direction. Keep the room calm and the routine simple. And now, let's make the daily care easier on our bodies so showing up stays effortless. Let's shift from plant signs to how we care with ease. Make it senior easy. Tools, setup, and routines keeps the work gentle so you can tend daily without strain. If care hurts, we delay it. Here's the secret, my dear garden-loving friends. When we remove strain, we show up more often. Less bending, less lifting, less mess. Your plants thrive, and so do your joints. We build a small station that turns care into a calm routine you can do with a cup of tea beside you. Start with the surface. Raise the work to you. A waist-high table saves your back and your neck. Put a sturdy tray on top so soil and water stay corralled. Add a non-slip mat under the tray. The pot won't skate, and your hands can relax. Keep a small stool nearby so you can sit for trimming or wiping leaves. Comfort first, always. Now the tools. Lightweight wins. A compact watering can with a narrow spout gives control without wrist strain. Soft grip snips make clean cuts without squeezing hard. Tuck a cheap moisture meter in the station. It's a backup to our field checks on days your fingers feel a little tired. We use both, then trust the match. Make heavy pots easy. Set them on a rolling plant caddy. No lifting. You just glide the pot out to water and glide it back to its cozy spot. If the floor is uneven, choose a caddy with a lip so the pot stays centered. That little wheel set turns a chore into a gentle push. Keep cleanup simple so you finish smiling. Place a paper bag right on the tray. Drop every trimming straight in as you work. Lay a small towel under the spout to catch drips before they reach the table. Slip on light gloves if your skin is sensitive or if a plant has sap that can irritate. When you're done, fold the towel, close the bag, and the space stays neat. Set your rhythm to minutes, not hours. Each morning, spend 2 quiet minutes. Check the light with your eyes for any harsh glare. Touch the soil to the first knuckle. Lift the pot a breath. That's it. Adjust a foot closer or farther if needed. Sip if dry. Wait if heavy. Consistency beats intensity, and it builds calm. Add safety to the rhythm. Take short breaks if you feel tightness. Sip water while you work, and avoid peak sun hours if you tend plants near bright windows that heat up. Cluster supplies so they live together. A small basket holds the can, snips, meter, towel, and gloves. Slide it onto the tray when you start and back into a shelf when you're done. One motion in, one motion out. No hunting, no extra trips across the room. Mind your body while you work. Keep wrists neutral. Elbows close, shoulders soft. Rotate the pot instead of twisting your back. Take slow breaths. This is your quiet time. When your body feels good, your hands cut cleaner and your eyes notice the small wins sooner. If you feel a twinge, pause. A 1-minute rest prevents a week of soreness. All of this stays on a shoestring budget, a thrifted tray, a simple mat, a light can and soft snips, a rolling caddy if a pot is hefty. Pure tranquility for under $20, my dear garden-loving friends. Function meets beauty in the most delightful way when the space looks tidy and the motion feels smooth. With tools, setup, and a gentle routine in place, the heart of our method becomes clear, and it's simpler than it sounds. As we wrap up, here's our gentle takeaway, my dear garden-loving friends. Conclusion: letting go of what's truly dead, softening the light, and giving the right sip forms a calm, repeatable system that lifts tired plants and our spirits. It's steady care that adds up. Most plants show early, small positives within a few days. Some need more time, or a slight tweak in light, airflow, or watering. That's normal. We stay patient and keep the routine kind to our hands. If this helped, subscribe and share with a friend in our Golden Seniors Living family. Tell me in the comments which plant you're reviving this week. I read them and I reply.